Alright folks, MACTFORDEDGE here, and I have this nifty little device here, and this is designed to test the brake fluid and find out what kind of water you have in your brake fluid to see if you need to change your brake fluid out. Because after all, brake fluid is, what do they call that, Shannon? Hydroscopic? It absorbs water. So that's why you make sure your brake fluid cap is on tight, because the more water you get in, the more rust your lines get, and then eventually you got to do humongous repair bills, because replacing brake lines is a time-consuming job. So we can use this device to tell us whether or not we need to purge our brake fluid out and test it, and it's a simple little device, and I bought it. It's called a brake fluid tester. And this is all it is, folks, right here. That's what they call it, brake fluid tester. Yes, it is. And then, of course, it has these scales right here, and it goes by percentages. So when you have the green light, you're good. And then as you get into the 2 and 3%, of course, you're in warning category. And then as the scale says right here, I'll let you all read that. That is what it does. Okay, so if you're in the yellow, that tells you to be ready to change the fluid. And of course, if you get the red lights, guess what? Not a good day for you. You need to change that brake fluid. So let's go ahead and test our brake fluid out here in this Lincoln MKX to see, is he keeping up on his brake fluid, or is this 2008 brake fluid in this Lincoln MKX? We're going to find out, right, Shannon?
I think so.
You just take it, and they say I'm just supposed to turn the button here, and we put it into the brake fluid. And guess what? Look at that. Alright, folks, what it did is it went into this scale right here, all the way up to, what is that, Shannon, 3%?
Yeah.
3%. Flashing at 3%. So should Shannon change his brake fluid? I would say he needs to get it into the shop, and he needs to purge all of his brake fluid out and put new fluid in, because he has 3% water in his brake fluid. Now we're going to go ahead and test my wife's Ford Edge, because I have it here with us, to see who has a better maintained vehicle, MACTFORDEDGE, myself, or Shannon the mechanic. Uh-oh. 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 Maybe he fixes everybody else's vehicles more than he fixes his own. That's usually the case. So let's go see what happens. Any last words for me, Shannon? You think you're going to be better than me?
Maybe.
We'll see. Let's go ahead and stick this in and see who's the better mechanic, right?
Yeah.
The non-mechanic guy. Look at that, folks. I'm at, what is that, Shannon? 1%?
1%.
1%. So I'm good for a while, aren't I?
I think so.
I am good. So, MACTFORDEDGE wins. What can I say? That's a couple wins today, isn't it?
I think so.
Holy cow. Well, folks, this is MACTFORDEDGE, and I'm not done with this video yet. I'll be right back. I'm going to go check my Edge and my Ford Ranger. And you know what? My Ford Ranger's 20 years old. Any bets they'd never change the brake fluid on that? Let's go check it next. Well, I'm going to take and, of course, check the Ford Edge I have here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I got it on. And let's go see what the brakes say, and it looks like I'm at 1% by the light. Hardly even lighting at it. Sort of turns on and off, but I'm at about 1% for water in mine. Folks, this is my 1997 Ford Ranger. I have no idea the status of the brake fluid on this, but I'm betting it's going to be 20-year-old truck, no records of maintenance. So I'm going to check the brake fluid, and any bets? Let's see what I end up being. Remember, I'm at 1% for both of my Edges. I haven't touched this one yet, so we'll see what the previous owner did with it. I'm betting it's a big, fat Let's see. Okay. Let's pull this cap off of here. And this thing is low. It's not even up to the max. But let's go ahead and see if we can't get it stuck down in there and touch some fluid. I can't even hardly get it in there. I can't even hardly get it into the fluid, it's so low, folks. But it's saying 1%, which I'm gonna say is probably a lie, but who knows? It says 1%, so we're gonna go with it, I guess. And I was expecting far worse, but we're at 1% on that. But there's so little fluid in here that I can't even hardly get it in there because it's so low. But it's reading 1%, so we'll go ahead and go with that then. Folks, the clutch uses DOT3 brake fluid also, so I'm going to assume that the clutch is probably as old as the brake fluid. I might be wrong, but let's go ahead and check the clutch. Look at that. 3%. Wow, look at that. Looks like I got some clutch work to do. We're running at 4%. It's in the red. And I'm going to say the brake fluid's probably the same condition. So as we can see, I'm going to have to go and bleed out my clutch and get all this water out of there. Well, this is the end of my series on the brake fluid tester that I have, this mighty little beast that it is. And I'm going to go ahead and test a couple of things that I have. I had this bottle of brake fluid, STP brand, I guess, heavy duty, DOT3, sitting in my garage for, I don't know, a while. So I thought, well, it's been broken open, partially used, sitting in the garage for a year or two at least. Let's give it a test and see what it measures as far as water just sitting around with an open seal and having been exposed to the air at least once, and see what the water level is in this fluid. And then I got this here I just bought at Wally World, not throwing name brands out, it was what they had on the shelf and it was cheaper, so I grabbed it other than the Walmart brand. So I thought I'd try a name brand here. But this one has never been opened, and I'm going to test it with this to see what is the water content. And the thing is, I got a question. If this is working, I should get 0 out of this, right? If it's working? So, this is the time to tell the truth, folks. Is this thing giving me, or will it read 1% on a sealed bottle? What does that tell us then? But either way, I think it's a good little device to give you an estimate of where you're at. So let's test both of these brake containers here, one that's open and one that's sealed, and see what we get as far as results. Now the first thing we got to do, of course, is take the top off of this thing and expose these two little probes. And then of course we turn it on and we got the green light right there. It says battery is okay. So let's go ahead and test this old stuff first, right? So let's go ahead, yes, open it up, and let's see what it actually reads when I put it in there. Now it reads almost 2% for the moisture in this bottle, and it's been open for a while, so we're going to say we got 2% on this, and you're supposed to clean this off. They say you're supposed to clean it with water or something like that, but I just been drying it off, starting over again. And by the way, this cap keeps falling off. But anyway, exposes the battery. But we're going to go ahead and turn it back on. Now we've checked this bottle here, so let's check this brand new bottle. And as you can see, we're going to open this one up, and guess what? Not even been opened. See, folks, we got the seal on it yet, so let's go ahead, pull the seal off of here, push that down a bit, and now let's go ahead and turn this thing on, and let's see what we got. and this device is saying we got 1%, 2% water in the fluid, okay? Brand new fluid. So am I to say that this thing is working? I don't know, folks. If it's reading 2% brand new fluid, I'm gonna say either I got bad fluid or this thing ain't worth a darn, you know, as far as checking. Well, folks, all I can say is best 12 bucks I ever thrown away in the garbage in my life. Yep. This brake fluid tester, I'm gonna say is you know. But then again, I spend my money on it, so you don't have to. So brake fluid tester, the most valuable thing in it is this, folks. I'll keep the battery. I'll throw the rest of it away. It doesn't give you a good reading. It was fun to try. Thankfully, it was only $12 for me to waste. Hopefully you guys watch enough of these videos to pay back the loss on this thing. But either way, don't waste your money on the brake fluid tester. No, don't do it. It is not worth it. You are better off if you think you got water in your lines, change it. And like everything else I do maintenance. I change my fluid about once a year in my brake lines anyway. I bleed them out and put fresh fluid in. It's sort of good safety, if you know what I mean. I always want to be able to stop. So that's it, folks. This brake fluid tester is garbage, and we're going to throw it right there into the garbage. Yes, right where it belongs. Okay? That is where it goes, and that's the end of that story. This is MACTFORDEDGE. And of course, join me at Facebook, okay? MACTFORDEDGE Facebook. Join the group there, and of course watch some of these videos as I put them out, and even live stuff that I do as far as maintenance and repairs, which is just for the group's benefit, along with YouTube. Yes, this channel, hit that like button, help me out a little bit and keep ahead of the ones who dislike it, if nothing else. And then of course, as with all things, my feet hit the floor today, and I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. And with that being said, Mercy Girl's going to toss a couple of one-liners at you, and then of course our band of one is going to play some following music with the credits, and maybe even a little bit of bonus footage for you all to watch.
Thank you for watching MacT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.